This month, we're looking at prompting. I'm calling it Prompt Up Your Jan for January, and I've been kind of hesitant about talking too much about prompting with AI. I feel like prompt engineering got a whole thing, then it moved to content engineering and all of this. But prompts really do matter. When you're chatting with an AI, just think about what it looks like if you ask one question versus a different question. If you say, I'm an expert in grant making and I want to understand this Ford Foundation application, right? Like, that's a small amount of text for it to give you a lot of analysis. And I think that's what's so new about AI is the ability to just give it a small piece of information and have it give you a huge output from that, especially if you look at what happens with deep research, where you get a larger context window and it'll give you a 50-page report, right? So really small prompt, 50-page report that's well thought out and has a lot of sources included. So prompting really does matter. Here's the catch. Humans are lazy. All of us are lazy. And in January, I was thinking about this, we often make New Year's resolutions in January. I'm going to do this thing better. Old is gone, new is in. Here's what we're going to do. In all of those resolutions, systems outperform habits every single time. So if you create a system to do something versus a habit to do something, your system's going to probably exist longer than your habit. And so I was thinking about people that may say, now, not that I know anybody that's saying this, but if they said, I want to be better at prompting this year, what would that look like? People are going to try and really push to make themselves be a different kind of thinker that is going to give better prompts. And if that's not going to work, humans are lazy. And my biggest advice about prompting is accept the fact that you're lazy. What you and I and every other human is good at is really simple prompts. The trick is better structured prompts create better output. And we're not good at structured prompts. We're good at simple prompts. So I've been teaching people frameworks to think through how do you take simple prompts or simple ideas, put them into a framework and have that become a structured prompt, right? And so one of these is PTCF, right? So this is the one that I worked with Beth Cantor and Project Evident to introduce this framework. It's not Beth's, it's just kind of a well-known framework, but P stands for persona, T stands for task, C stands for context, and F stands for format. So if you were going to use PTCF, it would look something like persona, I'm a grant writer. Task, help me evaluate this Ford Foundation application. Context, I work for Impact Me Foundation. And format, put this into a scale rubric, look at the application, look at its criteria, and then evaluate us based on, this document that I'm giving you so that you know if we're a good candidate. Put that into a table and give me a score about this. That is how you use a framework. So that would be a PTCF, persona, task, context, and format. If you structure your prompts like that, they will be way better. No question. And there's a bunch of different frameworks out there like that. So Sammy and I looked at one in AI for Anyone Live. There are 4 that I've put into a tool I'm creating for the Upskillators called the Promptinator. So one of those is Spectra by our friend Jonathan Edwards over at AI Cred. There's a wild story there, and I'll put the link in so that you can see what Spectra was. He basically found that his system for AI Cred was creating its own framework, which is really cool. The Upskillator is a group that I work with to upskill their AI skills, mine as well as theirs. So we're all in it together, just increasing our skills in AI work and competencies and capacity with AI. So I'll add a link. You can look at joining if you're interested. Would love to have you. And we're building out this tool so that by the end of the month, people have their own Promptinator that they can use to create structured prompts for them in whatever frameworks they want using this tool. The important thing to know here is just the simplest thing is, 1, humans are lazy and we do really well at simple prompts. And 2, AI is not lazy and it does really well at creating structured prompts. If you use a framework as the screen to help it think through the best structured prompt to give you, you will end up with way better prompts. If you're interested in that tool, hit me up in a chat on LinkedIn. That is where we're headed with Prompt Up Your Jan. I'm really curious what your experience with prompting is. And I will leave you with maybe the most important prompt that I use, the most important simple prompt that I use. I would not even make this into a structured prompt, but I use this really frequently. I don't like that. Do it again. That is the simple prompt I'm leaving with you. Thanks for staying tuned. My name is Tim Lockey. I'm CEO of the Human Stack. If you're interested in the Upskillator, please hit the code down below or the link down below. And every week I am live with Sammy Zoss on AI for Anyone Live on LinkedIn on Wednesday mornings at 9 Mountain. And I'd love to see you there.